So you voted to leave, and then obviously now you're a Remainer. So just talk me through
Yes.
that. Was it quite a slow process from one to the other? Was it quite quick for you?
It was actually fairly quick. I had one reservation in my mind at the time that I did vote leave, which was really prompted by the murder of Jo Cox, if you remember that, a few days before the referendum
Yes, of course.
result. And so I had a worry at that time that there seemed to be a rise in nationalism of a bad sort. And I had a worry, and I thought for 2 or 3 days at around that time, look, is this a reason not to vote leave? Is there an increased risk of that sort of behaviour if I do vote leave? And I thought about it, and I talked to people about it at the time, and where I ended up was that the rise of the far right and nationalism was a problem, not just in the UK, but all over Europe. If you remember, it was a time when there was big anxiety about flows of migrants, asylum seekers, and so forth from the Middle East into Europe.
Yes.
And I ultimately came to the conclusion that actually, if anything, this might help and provide a kind of safety valve if those kind of concerns had been met by us leaving the EU. That might diffuse that sort of pressure. So that's where I got to by the date of the referendum.
Okay.
But you asked how long did it take me to start to have second thoughts. It was not long after that I started to see what I'd never before seen in London, which was overtly hostile behaviour towards Europeans, visiting Europeans. I remember vividly one evening walking down, it was a lovely summer's evening, it was in August after the referendum, and seeing somebody standing in the street shouting very unpleasantly at some tourists who were sitting outside having a coffee. We voted Brexit, you lot are going home, we don't want you here, that kind of stuff. And that really kind of shocked me.